Hey everybody, today we have another best of 3 from the ESL Major League. Kazooie is going up against SK Gaming, and this is going to be a very interesting match. Kazooie is the old Planet Key Dynamics squad, and they've been doing very well in Europe. And they're going up against SK, who were on a very solid run in Europe as well. They were struggling a bit because of lineup changes that they had, but they really seem to find their stride these days, and we're going to find out in map number 1 who's going to take the lead here. The two teams can definitely play on eye level, and I'm very curious myself who's going to take it here. So let's jump in map number 2. I'm going to find out who's taking the lead in the best of 3 series here. Is it going to be Kazooie or is it going to be SK Gaming? Let's find out.
Game number 1 at the ESL Major League between Kazooie and SK Gaming is starting. It is Cursed Hollow, and to the left side we're having SK Gaming with our Ragi on Stitches, Zamoni on Tyrande. Snitch is playing Nazebo, Bakery, Sergeant Hammer, and Kumata Boss is playing Brightwing. To the right side of the map currently we're having Invidium on Malfurion for Kazooie, we have Neps on Uther, BKB on ETC, Blow Your Brain aka Fuey is playing Vala, and Antihero is playing Illidan. So the game is starting, and both of those teams really need a win. I guess Kazooie more so than SK Gaming, because Kazooie so far hasn't won a single best of 3 in the ESL Major League. SK Gaming was able to take down El Nexo, but besides that they weren't able to win another match yet. So we haven't seen too many games, but it's roughly halftime already in the ESL Major League, so you really need to just like rack up some victories there. We're having our Ragi and Zamoni already waiting for an opportunity to maybe drop a target. And just talking a bit about the comps that we are seeing there, of course we have the double healer comp on the side of Kazooie, and for them it's going to be extremely important to dominate in the mid game. They have more of a jumper comp. The question is of course what heroic is BKB going to take later on. Is he going to go for a stage dive, which is used quite often when you want to jump into the back line together with Illidan, or is he instead going for the mosh pit? In any case, even with the power slide, he will be able to like surpass the front line and go straight into the back line and try to jump in with Illidan. So in the mid game to late game, we're having them with a really nice comp. In the early game, it should be more so SK Gaming that dominates there, with the potential to see hook into stun from our Ragi and Zamoni, and Bakery of course already pressuring those towers in. The mid lane, we're currently seeing Snitch and Antihero going up against each other, especially Antihero, of course, in the early game still a bit weak on Illidan. Illidan gets much stronger the more the game progresses, since he gets access to his defensive abilities. In the bot lane, we see the tri-lane for Kazooie right now, also, of course, like trying to push this in. Kumata Boss, the only one who's going up against them. He chose Bright on level 1. Pretty nice skin here, by the way, also on Invidium. And talking a bit about the talents in general, if you look at the talents that we're seeing here for Kazooie, not really surprises. I mean, it's all about the mana regeneration for Malfurion and Uther so that they can get their skills in later on. So we're having Conjurer's Pursuit being used, and for ETC it's just like tankiness, especially since he's being played as a single hero or a single tank in the game. BKB and our Ragi are going up against each other, and our Ragi of course also having the same fate as ETC, playing the solo tank play here. We're having him with a sustained build thanks to Chewy of Food and Amplified Healing. And then, now 2 minutes in the game since the mercenaries are spawning, it's Zamoni and Bakery rotating over for the first camp, and Illidan with the balls of steel, Antihero on level 4, level 5, going straight for a hard camp here. Snitch is moving in, and well, I guess goodbye Antihero. He's running away, and he's running away fast. Now Stitches could rotate over here as well. Antihero gets a bit of reinforcements thanks to Invidium, sorry. But our Ragi is now moving in as well as Zamoni. They really want that camp. Everybody's rotating over there. They're trying to get it, and they will. And they get the hook against Antihero, and they get the drop as well. Exactly what we talked about earlier, that initiation with the hook into Lunar Flare. So very well done. That camp pushing in the lanes, soaking up some of the tower ammunition, which is not going to be a big deal since it's the back line, so this will regenerate it anyways. But it's of course an annoying situation to have as well, especially since you are kind of dependent on that lane pushing in, or that's what you would like to have. So right now we're having, in terms of talents, which we wanted to talk about, especially on Tyrande, an interesting choice. Not going for the Ranger's Mark here, which really lowers the cooldown on your Hunter's Mark ability, but instead going for Pierce on Sentinel, and that is great for this map, because if you don't go for the talent, then it's quite easy to just like block the owl with a hero while another hero is trying to capture the tribute. With Pierce taken on this map, it's really difficult to capture those tributes against Tyrande. She doesn't have the like rewind on level 13 anymore, so it's she's not going to be able to like drop too many of those. But it's still one of those scenarios where you can interrupt an opponent and buy yourself some more time. And with that, we will most likely see on 16 then the Ranger's talent taken as well, so that Tyrande can really get a lot of damage out of this. At the bot lane, Blow Your Brain with his master skin on Vala. We're having Nepse in here as well. The mid lane is currently being pushed by Bakery. And here comes once again the Owl trying to get a bit of scouting information as our Ragi at the top lane has pushed in the entire wall already, together of course with Bakery, who was playing there on his Sergeant Hammer earlier on. Now we're having Enduring Growth taken on Malfurion. Malfurion a great hero on this map in general, but with a double heal, it's of course great for them to keep those heroes alive. It should be quite easy for them to really sustain them in the fights. We're having Cleanse taken, which is going to be quite important. We're having Guitar Hero and Echo Pedal chosen for ETC. And talking about ETC, he barely dodges that hook, and you could see Adamoni and Araragi trying to sync that up. But they are pushed away already. Anti-hero might be able to jump in there in the last seconds. No, Blow Your Brain with a very nice multi-shot. At the bot lane, it's the battle of the healers. No damage was ever dished out by those two. That's not that bad. But yeah, Tribute ends up in the hands of SK Gaming. 2 tributes in the game so far. One by SK, the other one by Kazooie. And we're having for Nazebo, no Gitbin, but Clairvoyance actually chosen here on a map with 2 bosses. Oh yeah, Anti-hero with the last dash just moves away barely from that stun. Gust of Healing taken on the side of Brightwing. And now with the level 10 talents a bit faster for SK, they might be able to make a play here. They're actually going for the boss immediately with 2 or 3 of their heroes. Puring Vile, Starfall, Ravenous Spirit. We have Napalm being chosen, and we have Blink Heal. Going for Blink Heal as a talent. Interestingly enough, not going to push heroes out with the Emerald Wind, which could have been one of their choices, considering that they're up against Illidan and against ETC. Boss already taken, and at the top lane we see a very, very similar picture. Stitches is already making its way over there. I highly doubt that they will be in time to contest that. Oh, well, actually, our Ragi will be, but oh, our Ragi is very alone right now. And Blow Your Brain with his ult, but there they come, and boss is already taken. Alright, not getting anything against that. Bot lane, that's where we still have Komato boss versus Nepsa. Like, these two really love each other, don't they? And there's also the Stage Dive talent. Stage Dive talent has been taken now. We're having Reign of Vengeance, Metamorphosis, Tranquility, and Divine Storm. With Stage Dive, it's the backline that is going to be in quite a bit of trouble. At least they should be. Bakery getting the damage in over here. Actually, like, a bit surprised, because the thing is, if you go for Siege mode, then you do 30% more damage to minions and structures. Well, it doesn't really include the mercenaries here, of course, but it would help against, like, getting that splash damage in against the minions that always are going to push in together with the boss here. So, in this case, he's not only focusing on the boss, the minion wave itself, not getting anything done here. Oh, nice stun, BKB, the block coming in play. But yeah, as you can see here, this is not going to work out for ETC. He is already down, and that will most likely put a curse onto Kazooie, because, well, that tribute is going to be very, very difficult for them to contest with having only 4 heroes in the game. Down here we have Brightwing with additional experience and will give them level 13 in just a second, and that alone is going to give them a huge lead. Level 13 is ready now, and with that, oh my god, the hook against Invidium. Anti-hero is there, sprint taken. We're having Sticky Flare, there's Lunar Blaze and Mega Smash, and they're moving for it immediately. Nepse is stunning that out again, but it started right away, and ETC is jumping in. Now it's a 5 versus 5 again. And, well, Anti-hero with a very interesting Metamorphosis, not hitting too much, was really trying to get that in. Here comes the Starfall, a great Starfall by Tyrande, but Zamoni is being hunted and dropped by a very nice ult, but so is Anti-hero. And once again, oh my god, against 3 or 4 heroes comes in the Ravenous Spirit. It's a 4 versus 4 right now, but Stitches is dying as well, and Kumato boss goes down too. Yeah, it's just that tankiness. If you have a double healer comp, killing that is just extremely difficult. Bakery here is trying to get away, but I do not think that he'll be able to do that. Oh, actually he still has the cooldown ready on first aid, so he should be fine. Especially since he can use the napalm to unhorse everybody there. But yeah, that is the tribute in this case for Kazooie, not for SK. SK not able to really block the damage at the beginning. That owl is hitting too late. So for SK, it's once again one of those matches that just turns against them. 3 kills against 3. Well, I guess didn't really turn against them in the sense that they're behind now, but that battle turned against them fast. They were interrupted, trying to take the tribute, I think 3 times in total, and then ETC was back, and with the stage dive ability, he didn't have to cross the map, but he could jump right in. Now we're having sprint taken, we have an ice block on Malfurion, which is actually great talent, especially when you use Tranquility, because you can activate Tranquility and then pop ice block, and then you will still be in the area and heal everybody up, and your opponent won't be able to drop you to get the heal out of the way. We're having Frost Shot taken, and it's also the additional evasion talent on level 13 for Illusus. Yeah, a bit of experience lead now also for Kazooie. We still have at the top lane BKB versus Snitch. The bottom lane we are seeing Kumatabos trying to push against them. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting game right now, because at this point this is really where the strength of Kazooie is going to jump in. Keeping the heroes alive is going to be something, and well, we're going to find out if our Ragi... I think our Ragi is going... There's no way that he's not going for the 16 talent with the additional stun on Slam, because he's already going for the greater Slam here, and they really want to have a chance of maybe interrupting another heal and then in the last chance dropping one of the targets. This is of course the important tribute for both of them, and considering the talents that we have currently on the board, it's going to be a very difficult one for SK to take. They have the potential to do that, especially if they get Zamoni with his Starfall in a good position, and then follow that up with a good Ravenous Spirit from Snitch, who's already low, and here come the 2 heroes jumping in and dropping Bakery, and well, even with Snitch getting the ult in, there comes the heal, Tranquility with Ice Block. This is not looking good. This is not looking good at all. Our Ragi in the middle of 5, and he is just ripped to shreds by the opponents there. And that jump on Bakery, I mean, there was nothing that they can do. Illidan jumping in together with ETC, and yeah, now they're just like killing everybody out there. Nice moves against Samoni and Kumato boss. Kumato staying alive for a few seconds longer, but now it's a complete team wipe. Level 16 is reached, and that put also Blood for Blood in the hands of Illidan and Vala. We're having now the hardened focus on Luther, the tenacious roots on the side of Malfurion, and guess what? It's gonna be boss after boss, and it's being captured out now by Kazooie, and they are already more than the level ahead than their opponent. This is a very, very strong comp that they are having with this. This jumper comp into the backline is quite something. Dropping a target with a double healer going up against you is just extremely difficult, as you can see. So they're moving up to the top lane. The curse is still there for another 20 seconds. I can move into the middle and take that fort here before anything else happens, since we still do not have level 16 on the side of SK. And Kazooie is really putting SK in a bad spot, and SK lost the game already today. So this is frustrating. They are, well, if they lost 2 maps, this might be the 3rd one if it continues like this. Nice snipe here. Ranger talent has now been taken on 16, and on Sergeant Hammer next to the Giant Killer on 13. We're having Executioner taken again on level 16. Quitter Rise, of course, for Brightwig. No big surprise there, getting that additional 25% damage against pulling more targets in. And our Ragi goes for the fishing hook. And I actually think that the reasoning behind this right now is that he was thinking about going into a slam build, but now realizes that they are going to have to play very, very passive, and that their best shot at winning the game is him just landing one of those, yeah, game-changing hooks and isolating a target. So that's probably the reason why we're seeing fishing hook in this case. Our Ragi usually a pretty big fan of going into the stun on Slam, and with a Slam talent taken on 13, there is nothing else that makes sense. You never take Slam talent on 13 if you do not plan on taking the level 16 talent over elsewhere. In itself, it just doesn't do anything for you. So you need to have a bit more than that. And, well, they would have taken Relentless. Oh, nice drop against Individuum! Individuum with an ice block saving his ass, but that was very well done. That was a great hook, and they already predicted where he would be. Knew, of course, that he wouldn't get past the tower. So nice move there by SK. I mean, they could not kill him, but that definitely was a big, big threat to Kazooie. Kazooie now with 2 bosses that they were able to capture. The map control that they had was is kinda, I don't want to really call it gone, but well, they have to rotate through the camps now that are still on the map, and that's the hard camp to the top right. Another one is at the bottom left. bot lane, we have one hard camp there, and it is ETC who might actually be captured out here. Yeah, they are trying to rush over. And they should be able to get him. Yes, there comes the rest of the team. Uh-oh, and Blow Your Brain could go for his Reign of Vengeance. Doesn't use it just yet, slows them first. And here comes the disengage by Aragi, or the attempt to disengage. But the Roots capture Kumato boss. Now Aragi is there, Starfall being used, a great Starfall. Invidium about to drop. Invidium! Oh god, Tranquility keeps him alive. Poor Snitch doesn't get his kills in. I mean, this healing ward, and in addition to the healing ward, then Tranquility kept Invidium alive, and Snitch is probably really frustrated right now because that was very close to getting him a kill. I mean, that was something. Snitch is dropped that Reign of Vengeance, and now it's jumper time, of course. Again, anti-hero moving in. He got polymorphed for a second, but there he gets another shot at Bakery, and there's the stun. Bakery being dropped to 10 kills against 3, and maybe they're even able to kill more than that. Nope. Not in this case, but level 19.5 versus level 17. Kazooie with another tribute that they can get now. For them it's important to take those tributes away from SK Gaming, since SK has 2 already and would put a curse on them. But this is very, very crazy. And I mean, we were talking about Stormcraft.com and the win ratio in the match ticker, but people think what happened in this game, and 90% voted that SK is going to take the game. That, well, that is not really looking like it's going to happen. I mean, it's only map number 1 in the best of 3 series, but still, so far Kazooie is looking very impressive. So they go straight for the mid lane now, and they have nearly level 20. Just a few more minions, and level 20 will be there, and Tank is still down. Sergeant Hammer is still not with them. He's finally coming back, but they won't be able to save the keep. Nice hook against Nepse. 20 talents are now there. They haven't picked them just yet. They're moving back. Here comes the demonic form, and Divine Hurricane. Alright, 2 levels behind. That's what SK is looking at right now. Looking at damage, by the way, just to give you a bit of an idea of damage and healing. 60,000 healing alone on Malfurion. That Tranquility is insane. Kumato boss is jumping in with a blink heal once more. And maybe a hook over here. Well, the attempt to land one didn't really get the chance. Kumato boss over here still in position. Tribute is once again being captured. Ranger is coming into play with the piercing. And anti-hero, no, this time he doesn't get it. And it looks like SK is really trying to fight for this. Which actually like blows me away, because they do not have the 20 talents. And I wouldn't want to face that. Double blink, storm shield, then also Uther. They have mana, they have hit points, they could jump in again. They could definitely jump this. SK is getting a bit desperate here. 19 versus 20 in a second. The tank, of course, is in a really good spot. Up here, the cow is still going ham. There's the hook against anti-hero. Oh my god, the drop against Illidan. Great play by Aragi. Even with the cleanse that we saw, not able to do anything about it. And this should be curse. And are they getting BKB? No, they see him, but they can't get him. Or, unless we are seeing once again a nice hook. Trying to go for that. BKB, running. Nah, no hook just yet. Probably still in cooldown, actually. Was close, probably. I guess he just came off cooldown. But yeah, they still have level 19 versus 20, and with them killing Illidan, and Illidan being down for 30 seconds, they might be able to make a play here. Curse is also there, and that's an opportunity that Bitewing is currently using to move at the bot lane. Hook again against Blow Your Brain. That cleanse in the last second that we just saw there was a lifesaver. Without that cleanse from Nepse, this would have died. And the keep, wow, for the fort for a second I thought they might be able to hold that. So 2 of the forts are down now, and that puts SK very, very close to level 20. They're going for the boss now. Anti-hero is still not back, 6 seconds on his hero. We're having down at the bot lane, another the boss taken, and I guess what we're going to see next is most likely Kazooie trying to take the boss at the top. Actually, I think that SK should be able to contest that. They should be able to move up, get this one lane here in, catch this with a quick, they have to still finish that out, level 20, and their 20 is actually very strong. They have a very, very strong level 20. Rewind twice with a polymorph, that's going to be great for them. Then also for Sergeant Hammer, Nexus Frenzy, that damage increase is going to be great. Our Ragi is very beefy now with the hardened shields, and the Annihilating Spirit is also amazing. There comes the hook against Invidum, but the ice block already being used. The jump in, our Ragi needs to use his shield, and there comes a great Starfall again. BKB is nearly down, but he interrupts Snitch in the last second. He needs to move away, where Blinks away as well. Oh, but they drop him. ETC is getting dropped, and Anti-Hero is about to die as well. He gets taken out. That level 20 talent for SK is absolutely amazing, and suddenly the entire battle turns. Kazooie has dominated this entire game, but as I already said when we were talking about the picks in the draft and the pick and ban draft screen, level 20, or at least the late game, is going to be pretty decent for SK Gaming. It's the mid game until that, where we are having a very, very strong game for Kazooie, and they use that to take one of the keeps down, but at this point they might actually lose this game. They have 2 heroes down for another 20 seconds, and now with 5 heroes it looks like SK is just moving in for it. The entire game was completely dominated by Kazooie so far, and now suddenly it is SK Gaming moving in to take the core. Bakery in the back with all that damage that he dishes out, and the boss is there as well, and just like that SK turns it around, burns Kazooie, and down they go. Map number 1 ends up in the hands of SK Gaming. A 1-0 in the best of 3 series against Kazooie.
A great finish to game number 1. For a long time it really looked like Kazooie would be able to take it here, and then suddenly the whole game just turns around and SK takes the first map. Kazooie definitely not happy about this, but we are going into game number 2 now, of course, where Kazooie can prove once and for all that they're able to win it here, and that they can force out a 3rd map in this best of 3 series and maybe win the entire thing against SK Gaming. So guys, let's jump into map number 2 between Kazooie and SK Gaming.
Welcome to game number 2, boys. We have Garden of Terror being played by SK Gaming and Kazooie. The second game with SK Gaming having a 1-0 lead in the series, since they were able to win the last teamfight on map number 1 and turn things around. We're having for now BKB on Chen to the left side. Starts, of course, in this case Kazooie, Nepso and Rhaegar, Blow Your Brain on Zebo, Anti-Hero on Illidan, and Invidum on Tassadar. To the right side of the map, it's our Ragi on ETC, Snitch on Vala, Bakery on Sergeant Hammer, Kumatopos on Uther, and Zaramoni on Tyrande. Pretty cool game that we have now. The draft was actually a bit exciting, I have to admit, since we saw a couple of cool things, like for example a Banwell on Zeratul as the normal standard opening, and then instead of seeing Illidan banned out, it was Stitches, and SK did not go for Illidan immediately, but instead they chose Sergeant Hammer, and are now in a position where they can suddenly start to do quite some work here. Oh, they're trying to get a kill, but they don't get it. Alright, this is a try lane for both of them up at the top. But let's talk a bit about the compositions that both teams are running right now. Looking at the bot lane, first of all, maybe just showing the lanes. Our Ragi versus BKB, that's already a solid one. Chen versus Stitches, not too much is going to happen here, but they're going to soak experience. Anti-Hero versus Snitch in the mid lane, also a lane where we shouldn't see too much action in the early game. The top lane is of course once again the center of attention, since it's the tank lane. But talking about before we go into the builds, let's talk a bit about the compositions that we're having here. First of all, what's going to be extremely strong for SK is that they have a lot of very high damage dealers that rely a lot on their right click, or in the case of Vala, oftentimes on the multi-shot build, which in this case is not being played. We're going to come back to that in just a second. Vala and Sergeant Hammer on the same team is insanely strong already when it comes to DPS. If you then have also Zamoni with the Hunter's Mark and the additional Sentinel talents that he can use, then you have a lot of DPS that can be used in fights to drop a target, and Starfall of course is another big thing that works in your favor. Seeds are being collected by both of the teams now. Another big thing for SK is that they have ETC, and since Stitches was banned, ETC is one of those high priority picks that you really want to have, especially in the current state of the game. And of course, since Kazooie was trying to play an Illidan build, you try to pick that away from your opponent. You've seen in game number 1 how strong that can be if your opponent is jumping the backline with 2 heroes. Zamoni actually in a bit of trouble with the wall of zombies here. Nice stun against Blow Your Brain though, and maybe with that owl hitting home they could take him down, but now the healing ward is already there. The lineup that we're seeing for Kazooie, on the other hand, with Illidan and Tassadar as well as Rhaegar, they have a very, very strong support for Illidan, who is one of the big damage dealers in the game right now. Not in the sense that he puts on the incredible numbers, but he is just like focusing on a single target very, very well and is disruptive as hell. It's a great hero. And then they have also, for the same purpose, Stitchers who can jump together with Illidan into the comp. So it's still one of those Illidan jumper comps into the back line. But the one thing that they're really missing a bit is damage. They have damage through Archon, through, well, Illidan to a certain extent, especially, of course, with the Lightning Shield. But one of the things that they rely upon heavily is that in the back, with all the space that they're trying to create, Nazeebo does his damage, and as long as we're having ETC jumping in and somebody just stunning him out, this is going, or could be, problematic. So far, they are doing extremely well, though. I mean, they're nearly a level ahead of their opponent right now. We're having still more seeds taken by SK Gaming. They get the seed surplus and have 90 already. That means they could get the early plant. So this is definitely going to be a very, very interesting game. Especially since when we're reaching the later stages of the match, we're having a very, very strong lineup for SK Gaming. Things they're having access to Nexus Frenzy on 2 of their heroes. And we're seeing that hybrid build again, that I personally do absolutely not like on Vala. I have no idea why this build came suddenly up, but I've seen it with very little success so far, if it's really that move that we're going to see from them. We're having rank. Oh, nice move against Blow Your Brain there. And the attempt to take him down. Bakery was playing that build as well. It was played, I think, when SK played the last time. And they're going in Rancor into Arsenal, which I think is a horrible choice. I really need to talk to them what exactly the thought process behind it, because they lose so much synergy with all of the talents that they take. Rancor right-click build usually relies on Manticore or at least Searing Arrows. Oh, Zamoni being blocked out by a great wall of zombies by Blow Your Brain. Very nice positioning here. No seeds taken here just yet by Aragi's team. In the mid lane we're still having Vala. At the bot lane it's Chen. Seeds taken. Aragi wants to move in. Oh, Aragi with the power slide just barely getting away there. Still no additional seeds for them. They're starting to rotate, and so does Chen, trying to get into a position and maybe dropping Snitch. Well, he's trying to. A Bakery is already there helping him out. So it's like 90 against 90 seeds, and with an entire level lead for Kazooie, so very well done by them. At least battle momentum chosen right now. Alright, I can get behind that a bit more. Well, it depends a bit on what exactly they want to do with the next talent. But yeah, if you chose battle momentum together with Rancor, that at least has some synergy. We've seen some crazy builds just lately, hybrid builds that were very, very weird. No Manticore taken here, but instead Arsenal. Something that you can definitely argue about, but in this case, well, you of course try to just like have the additional attack speed and then get the cooldown reduction, especially on your battle momentum, so that you can just like fire your spells in. Nexus Frenzy is something that we might see on level 20. Not 100% certain if they're really going to go for that. It's a great talent if you want to go for a right-click build with Vala, but at the same time you are going to have trouble as a Vala player in this game against Chen and Illidan, so Blink might be the safer option to just keep you alive. Top lane now we have level 10 versus 8.5. So far Kazooie is really dominating this game. They have a lot of map presence, and their early game is very strong with Nazeebo and Tassadar going for those storms. So now that we are looking at Wandering Kek, Metamorphosis, and all those normal ults that you see on these heroes, with for example Arca now taken 2, they have a very nice position in the game, and they take down a lot of the structures here. They actually have a really nice position to take down even 2 more towers up in the mid lane. Snitch is playing down here against BKB, and right now, I mean, this is starting to get a bit ugly, I have to say, for SK. But in the last game, they were already in the bad spot, and then they were able to just win with a single team fight the entire game. So that was quite incredible. Let's see if they can pull it off again, because they certainly need something like that. One nice touch is that we're having not the talent for Conjurer's Pursuit taken on Invidium, but instead it is the Psy Infusion with the 7 mana per hit on targets with the initial storm. So that's actually like a pretty cool talent. If you place that properly on those lanes, you can get a lot of mana back and basically make those storms very cheap. Zamoni, they really rely on him getting his Hunter's Mark in. Level 10 talents now finally also for them, and Starfall is already there. In the mid game they have to be a bit careful. It's really in the late game where they are going to shine, with Bakery having his additional talents, Kumato Boss with that Divine Hurricane instead of Storm. Zamoni can then use the Spell Shield, sorry, the Storm Shield. There's a lot of potential for them. It's also about Blow Your Brain in the late game then. Talking about the Tyrannable for a second, we're having on level 1 once again the talent taken for Pierce, so we're most likely going to see Ranger on level 16. There's like 2 different builds that we are playing on this hero right now, and that's one of them. Anti-hero just jumping away with the Metamorphosis, making sure that he doesn't die there, so kind of wasting, well, not really wasting his ultimate. I mean, it's not a waste if you survive, but of course it's a cooldown right now, and that is something to be considered. But 13 versus 11, in terms of experience, King Kazooie is playing them to the wall right now. We're having also Mosh Pit taken, and that is going to be interesting for especially Illidan when he jumps in. Mosh Pit in this case makes sense, because you don't really want to jump the backline. You are gonna get jumped, especially now, and our Ragi is already down. But yeah, Mosh Pit on ETC here makes sense, since, as I said, the team that is gonna try to jump you is gonna be your opponent and not you. At the top lane, there's once again seeds everywhere, and it's of course seeds that they're gonna try to go for right now. The entire wall here is still alive, by the way, even though we had the siege tank moving in with that. We're having at the bottom of the map now seeds taken by Kazooie, and Kazooie is 3 maps ahead, right? 3 games, levels. Boy, it's getting late. 3 levels ahead at this point. Once again, seeds taken and another plant ready, or the first plant ready I should say, and with Illidan finishing the plant at the bot lane, this is going to be a whole lot of seeds that they have. They might be able to get double seeds here. They still have a 13 talent over their opponent with Relentless on Chen, which is great. We're having Feral Lunge also taken, in this case for Rega. Sprint, Evasion talent, and Polymorph. And the first plant is moving in. The plant is moving up to the top, and with the plant they will be able to get this. They already have a second plant. They already have one. The problem is that SK doesn't have a plant at all. And now they move back in a 5 versus 4. They're moving back already. And here comes the plant in from the bottom. They're trying to take all the seeds. If they get all the seeds, then they have 2 plants back to back without Araragi and his team having a single one. And that would be absolutely devastating. Nice zoning by Anti-Hero now. Moving in, doing some damage, grabbing all of the seeds that they can, making sure that nobody is able to move in here. And yeah, this is going to be planned. This is it. All the seeds already taken. Araragi doesn't get anything done here. BKB is trying to push them away. He pushes Kumato boss in, and well, goodbye Kumato, I guess. Doesn't really look like he's going to get away there. Not even with his ult. Nope, just not going to happen. Down he goes, and that's another 42 seconds on the plan. They can just simply move up to the top, and Kazooie is just wrecking SK in this game. They are wrecking them. That early game was way too strong for them. Somehow we saw SK Gaming just falling behind in experience like nothing. Like even without any fights happening, they suddenly just lost experience so fast in this game. We're an entire level behind. The rotations were so much better from Kazooie towards those seeds and making sure that they at the same time don't lose the experience. Now they're already moving in with a plan that lasts for another 12 seconds and at least one more plan. They're wrecking that wall. Araragi pushes them away, and yep, there comes Anti-Hero. Can always use Metamorphosis, and he does. Jumps away, has a lightning shield now. They go for the camper, at least they try to, but of course that's a pretty transparent move. And yeah, Anti-Hero, he wanted a bit too much there. Nice stun against Illidan, and they're trying to get him. But the jump again, and ETC with his ult. But nice Rega ult that we saw there. Very well done. Snitch is super low, and ETC goes down, and just look at that ult. Blow your brain, doing the damage. Bakery dying. Kumatobos trying to escape. Can he get the wall of zombies? No. Yes, there it is. Wall of zombies, and Kumatobos is not going to make it either. And oh my god, BKB wanted to have Snitch there too. All of them dead or dying, as the ghost of Uta is still alive. But yeah, this is bad news. I mean, this keep could fall, and we are 11 minutes into the game. This is 16 against 13. Double blood for blood now taken. We're having the second strike, specialized toxin and pressure point, and the first keep is down just like that. And they move back. It's 7 kills against 0. This is the reckoning right now. I mean, they are getting completely demolished. The plant is ready for another 30 seconds, and well, Night is not even falling, so with all of them healing up, they can just simply grab the plant, move in again, and do the damage. This is insane. This is really insane. I mean, BKB is... well, he can always keg it away. And there it is. Alright, so James Chen just like using the keg and rushing away. Now of course the ult isn't cooldown, but hell, whatever. At least he didn't die. And we're having anti-hero on the way down to the bot lane. Of course, it's the assassin in the plant. That's the hero that you want to have in there. Usually, melee assassins always take the plant if you have one in your team. You don't want the healer, for example, to take it, or you could potentially get the solo tank in there, especially when his ult was already used. But still, anti-hero is starting to move in. Snitch is trying to defend it. Good luck with that. Rest of the team rotating. It's a 4-level lead. Okay, it will be a 3-level lead in a second, but still, right now it's a 4-level lead. And just in stats alone, that's already amazing. I mean, anti-hero jumps in, a nice move there. BKB could try to jump snitch, and he's was thinking about it. And the knight is falling again. 18 versus 15. And there's another keep that they're now trying to attack, and guess who's missing? It's this bad boy at the top. Kumato boss is trying to go for seeds right now to get them at least one plant, but also means that they are defending with 4 instead of 5. And the wall is gone. So they can turn around, get another plant now, or they can try and push in the keep. They decide to turn around and just take the seeds. Kumato boss is already happy that they at least have one plant now. He's like, yeah, I don't care if we lose, but I at least want to have a plant. And yeah, bot lane is now of course going to be taken. We have the plant already moving up to the top. Can just simply drop a pot there and deep push this lane. Yep, there it is. Doing that already. Lane is going to be deep pushed. Down here we're having the plant taken, seeds grabbed. That means we're going to have at least one plant also for them. And at the top there's another move. We already have the plant for Zamoni, by the way, starting to push in the top lane. And we're having down here BKB. Sorry, not BKB, but BKB as well. Anti-hero moving straight towards the bottom lane. They are trying to rush keep. They're simply rushing the keep right now. The plant won't be able to get back in time. Those heroes have to TP, and they're already starting to. But nope, only 1 or 2 of them are. And this might actually drop the keep. BKB apparently does really hate that tower, and says like, yeah, why would I attack the keep? There's a tower that I can take down. So they do a lot of damage against that already, and that of course threatens that one of the creep waves might later on finish that one off. Counter push with Zamoni at the top lane, dropping the plant right now. That's going to give them some experience. I mean, at least they have level 16 now. That puts double imposing presence into their hands, which is great against Illidan, of course. And also next to the Frost Shot, they have 1 blood for blood and Executioner talent taken. But still, with level 19 being ready, I mean, this is an incredible advantage. This is absolutely, this is amazing. And right now, Zamoni, they're all trying to go for another plant. They're trying to get the seeds for the next one. Talking about plants, there's one moving in. Anti-hero got another one. Zamoni is still getting a few seeds. And are they jumping in? Are they trying to go for it? BKB is there. He's trying to use barrel. Yes, he barrels them into a corner. At least he tries to. Kumato boss is once again the sacrificial pawn here. At least apparently he will be. Yep, he's gonna be dropped, or is he? Yes, they get him, but Tassadar is now down as well. Snitch runs away and he runs fast. Nice ETC ult. Really decent one. Gets a lot of damage off. Blow Your Brain on the other hand, trying to take Zamoni down. And yes, they're gonna be able to bail him with anti-hero. Down goes Zamoni. Snitch is gonna die here too though, and Bakery is gonna be the next victim as well. Oh well, maybe they turn for Aragi instead. Nope, there comes BKB. Oh, Bakery with the thrusters. Bakery. And he jumps in. Yeah, that is not looking good. Bakery is most likely going to die here. He's trying to escape, but he doesn't have anything anymore. And they're just trying to go for core. They're trying to go for the core now. Aragi, the last one there. Well, at least we have Ether coming back. But this is just like, this is the reckoning. Aragi might die here now as well. The plant is moving in, just power slides away in the last second. But level 20 talents are now there. And that means Storm Shield, Annihilating Spirit. They're already taking quite a lot of hit points off the core. 7 seconds until Tyrande is back. With 2 heroes here, Kumato still having his ult. Maybe they can actually like, nah. 30% on the core. This has to be it. That plant alone is going to finish that easy peasy. And that's it. GG. And we're going to see a 3rd game between SK and Kazooie after Kazooie destroyed SK Gaming in game number 2 of the best of 3 series.
Wow. SK Gaming got dominated by Kazooie on map number 2. Garden of Terror really working well for Kazooie, and they just played SK Gaming to the wall. There was nothing that the squad could do. So suddenly the series is tight, and we are going into a 3rd map to try and find out who is going to be the victor in the best of 3 series. Interestingly enough, SK decided to play on Garden of Terror again. It's their map choice and they want to play the same map once more. So let's see if this time they are able to step it up and to take Kazooie down once more to secure the lead and also of course the victory in the best of 3 series here at the ESL Major League, or if Kazooie is going to be able to do it after all.
The game started, ladies and gentlemen. It is the last map of SK Gaming versus Kazooie here at the ESL Major League. The score is 1-1 and this is the third map, of course. Starting to the left side, we're having Araragi for SK Gaming on ETC, Zamoni on Azebo, Snitch on Vala, Kumato Boss on Uther, and Bakery on Sergeant Hammer. To the right side of the map, BKB on Chen. We have Nepsa on Rega, Antihero again on Illidan, Blow Your Brain on Tychus, and Invidium on Tacita. Once again, Illidan in the composition, Garden of Terror here the map for the second time, and it's pretty interesting to see that Illidan was played in every single game between these two teams by Antihero here, so SK apparently not having a problem going up against Illidan, at least in theory. So with this in mind, we will see if now on the third map Kazooie is able to win it again. SK has played a very nice first game where they were able to stay alive long enough until they hit level 20 and turn things around, but on map number 2 they got wrecked completely. Of course they want to change that here on the second time that they play the map. Nepsa with good luck have fun as the game starts, and at the bot lane we're having the tri lane for both of the teams. This time a bit of a change in the lineup compared to what we saw in the last game. We are actually seeing Blow Your Brain on the side of Kazooie on Tychus, and that's a hero that we haven't seen all day. On the other hand, we're having now a lot of DPS on the side of SK Gaming. They don't have Tyrande in this game. They actually picked for, I think it's Zamoni who actually plays on. Double check. Yeah, Zamoni plays on Azebo. Alright, and with that in mind, we're having a ton of DPS on the side of the team. So this is going to be extremely interesting, especially in the later stages of the game. It is again the cow for them. They're going for good old ETC. Rockstar, the elite Tauren Chieftain, and now that the night is falling in 10 seconds, the teams are already starting to rotate towards the seed spots to take the small ones. Looking at the talents, not really anything surprising there. The only thing that you could mention is on level 1 Psy Infusion on Tacita instead of the Conjurer's Pursuit, but that's more or less a matter of preference than what we're seeing there. We have Illidan with the Shadow Shield. We're having the first overkill talent chosen by Tychus, which in this case is of course the armor piercing rounds. We're having also Regeneration Master on Chen, pretty normal, and the Healing Totem on Rega with Farsight on level 4. Farsight is a great talent to just like see what's going on the map. 30-second cooldown and 10-second vision. That is pretty insane. Oh, and Antihero! Whoa! Killing... Yeah, Antihero killing the Zebo. Zamoni down already. Yeah, that gives them a bit of an experience lead, and especially it costs SK Gaming a lot of experience in the mid lane. They're rotating Vala now up to get those few minions in, and well, with those they will be able to close the gap between the two teams. But yeah, that's of course a shock this early in the game to lose a hero right away. In Heroes of the Storm it's not that much of a big deal. If you look at other MOBA titles like Dota, First Blood gives you a lot more, gives you extra gold. Gold doesn't exist in Heroes of the Storm, so that's already not a factor, and the death timers are so low at the beginning of the game that an early game death is not really like all that tragic. The problem only happens or comes into play when you are suddenly in a position where you lose experience on the lane because you have no heartbeat there. So if another hero just rotates over, you are going to be fine. You will give the opponent a bit few experience points, but it's not going to be too bad. Echo Pedal used on ETC on level 4 again, gathering power for actually Nepsa running straight into those mines and getting blocked over here. Good hard camp being taken, and well, we're seeing for Illidan a very similar move, trying to take that solo at the top, and he's able to do that. Illidan of course great with moves like this. The bot lane with the tri lane is on the other hand going to push in pretty hard with this camp, so they need to rotate down there. Just simply taking the Siege Giant camp is not going to help them. They need somebody to do some work down here, and this is going to be extremely annoying. Oh ho ho ho! Body blocks! Really nice body blocks. Nepsa needs to well up, and they are losing a tower or two down here. Illidan is just like stealing camps away to the left side, and well, they apparently don't realize that they haven't seen this bad boy in quite some time, and getting suddenly attacked by a Siege Giant camp in the back line, that is extremely annoying. But now we have level 8 versus level 8. the 7 talents with Clairvoyance taken on Nazebo instead of Gitbin. Also, we're seeing Guitar Hero on ETC. Of course, for Vala, Battle Momentum, this time with a full multi-shot build, not going for that hybrid build with Rancor on level 1. I like this one actually more. If you go for Rancor, I'm usually a huge fan of people who are going straight for either Searing Arrow or Manticore, if not both of them, so that you can really get a lot of right-click DPS in here. And this time it's once again multi-shot with which you can really do a lot of damage. Interesting that we are seeing a Searing attack build from Tychus and not first aid taken, so he wants to go for a lot of damage there. We have actually just recently seen a bit of a, I want to say a hybrid build, where he went for Vampiric Assault on level 4 instead of the range on his overkill, and then on Searing attacks on level 7 to kind of have more damage thanks to the Searing attack, but still having a bit of sustain with the Vampiric Assault, which is definitely an experiment that I can understand, which makes sense if you think about it. We're having level 7 talents or level 10 talents now also in play with Wandering Keg, with Ancestral Healing. We're seeing Metamorphosis, Commandeer Odin, and Archon taken. And with those talents on the board, it's still a half a level that they're in the lead here, and it's an attempt to take even more seeds. So far the seeds end up in the hands of, Kazooie. On Kazooie, Illidan is just not doing anything on the map except for taking down like plants and taking down additional like mercenary camps and doing that all the time. And it works really well for them. I mean, they're an entire level ahead, they have more seeds, they are probably gonna get an early plant here as well. Illidan alone, not being disturbed with that, is doing work. And suddenly Kumato boss is in trouble, heroics coming into play, Kumato running away, but that's the second kill for Kazooie. Snitch is also on the escape, barely able to escape there. Here come the heals from the Uther Ghost, but that must be quite frustrating for SK Gaming right now. I mean, they're losing so much. There's 180 seeds in the first night up for grabs, and 130 of those went to Kazooie, and they have level 11, nearly 12 for the level 10 for their opponent. 2 kills against 0. The wall up here at the top gone. BKB starting to push that in now that the plant is making his moves, and he can just simply sit there and tank the damage. He's trying to push down this fort single-handedly. This is really not looking good. SK is struggling, and they are struggling hard. They have so much damage, but in those fights they are really having huge problems. Ravenous Spirit, Mosh Pit, Napalm being used as heroic abilities together with the Divine Storm and Rain of Vengeance. And what we really need for them now is a good combo with their heroics, because if they don't get that off and start racking in some kills, then they're gonna be in so much trouble. They're gonna lose that fort at the top lane for sure. There is absolutely no way for them to save that. Araragi is running straight into the Polymorph Seed. Yep, this one is going down. Bot lane is being pushed again with Bakery and Kumato boss, but that's the 13 talent now. 13 talents, and here comes the Feral Lunge. Bakery is being jumped. Blow Your Brain is moving in there. Has the Searing attack. Nepsa once again going straight for it. Also Relentless being used. The top lane is still being pushed, and this just doesn't look good. Lead Rain is being used on 13 on Tychus. That slows targets down even more. Oh, the kill against Vala being attacked from 2 sides, and this could drop another fort potentially. With 3 versus 2 in the mid lane and all of that pressure, 20 seconds on the plant. That early plant should never be able to do this much damage, but it takes down one of the forts in the mid lane after it took down the one at the top. And the tower is going to die as well. Yep, tower is down. BKB needs to move away, but this is a 2-level lead already. SK is really starting to struggle here. They're still pushing down the bot lane with 2 heroes, but suddenly they're getting slowed. There's a grenade being put into place. Yeah, there comes the healing, and Kumato boss might actually die. Yep, there comes the lunge. The lunge, and if Blow Your Brain has ended up, there it is. Goes down, doesn't even have to use his movement skills. This is unbelievable. I really thought that SK Gaming would be able to do much better in this game right now, but they are struggling horribly. I mean, at this point, we're having the Siege Giants taken by Aragi and Zamoni, trying to at least push it to a certain extent, but Illidan is doing his thing again. Illidan is doing dirty Illidan things, with him just simply moving in and taking another hard camp. There is already Clairvoyance being used, but that doesn't really help too much. Blow Your Brain is there to make sure that whatever happens, Illidan is not being taken down, the hard camp is not being stolen. 13 talents are now ready for SK Gaming, and that gives them the Uber Rockstar for ETC, Sprint on Azebo. We're having the Frost Shot taken on Vala. Shrink Ray on Uther and Barricade on Sergeant Hammer. The problem is that they are still nearly 3 levels behind, and that puts level 16 in the reach of SK Gaming with a fight at the top. Invidorm is being attacked here on his Tassadar. Here comes the healing ward in. Oh, and a nice setup for Blow Your Brain to do damage. Oh my god. Zamoni is already dead. Kumato Boss might die here as well. Yes, Kumato Boss is dead, and Snitch, well, maybe he is able to escape. But that's 2 heroes down. The rest is extremely low. Knight has just fallen, and that means seeds are up for grabs. And with the seeds being ready, they're just jumping in and taking as many as they want. The 16 talent is there with a double blood for blood. We're seeing Stone Skin used. The second strike on Tassadar for the double storm can of course now push those lanes back even easier than before. And yeah, with this one, this is of course going to be planned. And if they move down right away, they might be able to prevent a plant for SK Gaming. Be it as it may, it is a bad spot for SK to be in. I mean, they lost every single one of their forts except for the bottom one, and that is being pressured in by that camp that we're seeing here. The siege giants are just like getting hit after hit after hit in. And well, this is potential a double plant. Nope, not quite. They can't get a double plant, but they can deny the plant to SK if they play it well. They're waiting for those to be gone. SK needs 10 more seeds, and are they getting them? They need 4 more seeds. They should get them. And yes, they have a plant. So it's plant versus plant. Here comes Anti-Hero, but they're stealing still away a lot of the seeds, and we still have down here at the bottom that tower falling. Second tower is gone, and this is nearly a 3-level advantage that we're currently seeing for Kazooie. SK is really in trouble here. They have been in trouble on the first map as well though, and they were able to turn it around, so you should definitely not count them out. They are a great team. They're a really good team. They just had a lot of trouble just lately because they changed the lineup, had to then play with the old lineup in the HCL, and there were just a couple of things where it's very difficult for them to really get the practice properly in for each of those tournaments. But right now they are under so much pressure with the wall at the key being pushed in already. In the mid lane, that's where we're having Zamoni trying to depush the lane before he joins the fight. But before he can even arrive at the bot lane, we are having those towers eliminated. And not only those, the entire wall is now gone. Are they maybe trying to turn things around? Aragi with a good block here. Now everywhere, of course, the polymorph seats on the ground. And yeah, they're trying to go in. They're trying to go in and maybe take one of the keeps down. Can they get a kill here? They have the additional talent. It's 17 against 15, so 1 talent advantage, and that gives you, especially, of course, that blood for blood, a lot of additional damage and survivability in one. This is dangerous, and especially with Araragi diving this hard. But they are already putting him in place. Anti-Hero is there, and they're rushing away from Zamonio with another 40 seconds on his plant. But Invidium should be able to get away. Moves to the back, actually. Neps is already here to help them and heal him out. Oh, but here comes the attack. They're going for Snitch, and Snitch might die. He gets away just barely. Nope, Anti-Hero is there. Araragi is trying to use his mosh pit, but he is low now as well. They're trying to jump the rest of the lineup too. Araragi is dead. Bala is dead. Zamoni dropped from the plant. They are barreling Zamoni back. Not even with sprint can he get away. And this is now a 5 versus 2. And well, you all know what that means. That's a dead keep right there. Dead keep for sure. And well, can they get more than that? Nah, I doubt it. Won't be able to finish the game or anything, but that keep is an easy kill for them. They're dropping now the well and another tower, more experience for them. It's 18 versus 15, and they just move back and steal the camps of their opponent. They will be able to get the easy camp and the hard camp if they play it right. And I do not think that we're even seeing an attempt to contest that without the 16 talent from SK Gaming. They're losing too much here already. Hard camp stolen, easy camp stolen, and now of course they're just moving to the right side, trying to steal even more. Getting camp after camp, preparing for the next night. Getting all those mercenaries on the map will put SK Gaming in a position where they have to defend and stay very passive. So they won't be able to really move out during the next night if those camps are still pushing by then. Or if they do, they will risk losing even more structures. They are in such a passive slot right now, and also the experience is of course a huge problem. 19 versus 16, a 3-level lead, 9 kills against 0. Oh boy, you are in trouble if that's the stat on the map. An attempt to maybe kill Snitch over there. Snitch with the blood for blood, but he's getting slowed. Oh, and healed by Kumato Boss, who finally arrives. Aragi is trying to go in. They have a double imposing presence, which is going to be nice against Illidan. They're actually trying to jump Anti-Hero here. Anti-Hero using his heroic ability already. Can they get the team fight? Yeah, here comes the Odin. They're going for Odin, and yeah, nice zoning out. But the Ravenous Spirit, and he's stunned out. Stunned out, and Zamoni is not gonna make it. Pushed in by the barrel, the Wandering Keg Air pushing them in, and now they're jumping Bakery. Bakery, I don't, yeah, thrusters, 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 and thrusters are out. Snitch is dying, Bakery is dying, and now it's once again a 5 versus 3, and they're just going straight for another wall. This is going to be keep number 2 that falls here. I still think they won't be able to finish the game, but keep in mind that they have at the top lane also another massive push, pushing in that wall again, and that means that we're going to see, besides the keep dying, also the top wall being destroyed, and that should put level 20 in their hands, and therefore an option to maybe even finish that game. I mean, right now, yes, they're trying to get some more damage in here. 2 keeps are already down, and Knight has fallen. Knight has fallen, and I mean, that means they're going straight for seats. They're going to rotate back, getting the seats right now, and that should give them, if they play it right, 2 plans back to back, with SK not having a single one. 20 talent is there. Nexus Frenzy now on Tychus, and at the bot lane, they're going straight for more seats. 1 plant is already growing. We're having Hardened Shield on Chen, there's a Storm Shield, Twilight Archon, and Demonic Form. And this is, I mean, this looks like it's going to be lights out for SK. This really looks like it's going to be lights out for them. 20 against 17, 3 levels behind, and that while your opponent has the 20 talent, which gives you just such great talents here. And then that fight at the top, if they win this too, it's 2 plants in a row that they have. Anti-Hero is just waiting to jump in. BKB is also moving in. And BKB is barreling them into a corner. He's barreling them into a corner. Here comes Anti-Hero. Zamoni is shielded. Nice usage of the Raid of Vengeance, but it is Zamoni who dies first. Illidan is dead as well, but it doesn't matter as Uther dies too, and now they're going straight for the next one, trying to drop the cow as well. Our Ragi, he is going to be dinner. Yes, they're gonna be able to take him out too. He was trying to get away, but he won't be able to make it. And they can just like straight go for Bakery here. If they're able to drop him as well, then they can go for core. If they can't drop him here, they could go for core, but they have a plan now as well. And yes, Bakery will die. Bakery will die, and there it is. So now they're going straight for the core, and well, I guess that is going to be it. It looks like lights out for SK Gaming as Kazooie moves in with 4 heroes against 1. Only Snitch surviving, but look how fast that core is losing its shield. Very well played here. And Kazooie, after they lost the first map, after SK turned it around and against them, they are taking 2 maps in a row, and they win their first best of 3 at the ESL Major League. Or do they? Or do they? What? What? BKB 23 on it. No, they're not winning. They're not winning it yet. Oh my god. Okay, they don't win it yet, but the problem is no way they let the plant go. Oh, I can't believe it. They let the plant go. They let themselves... I really assumed that they would just interrupt Nazebo, but they didn't let... They actually let Nazebo get his entire ult in. I think if they just interrupted the ult, they would have been fine. But now they might actually not win. Well, let's be honest. The chances that they're not winning with the core being on 19% and they're still not being level 20 for the opponent are very, very slim right now. As long as they get their 5 heroes back together, and they should, even with a slow... yeah. So the chances are very grim. Even if you just simply backdoor, it's going to be super easy. The plan, for example, moving in, but that they let their own plan go, that is... yeah, they could have taken the plant. I mean, it's not over. It's not really over yet, but it's very likely going to end in their favor anyways. 19% on the core is kind of nothing at this point, and they still have the 20 talent. But yeah, that they did not interrupt the Nazebo ult, that was kind of fun. Be it as it may, it would be a small miracle if they would still win here. 90% on a core without a mule, it is pretty devastating. The 20 is there, and they are moving in right now, trying to finish it, but yep. And there we go. Our Ragi, oh, BKB, Nepse is dead already, and BKB might die as well. BKB, and they have the 20 versus 20. 20 versus 20 with a frenzy. But yeah, comes the kill against Vala. Can they get another one? Anti-Hero jumping in, going straight for Zamoni here. But Tychus is dying. Tychus is down. Invidium is down. You got to be kidding me, right? Illidan is down, and BKB might die as well, but the problem is that this is attacking now the core again, or will in a second. So they have to D-push. BKB is still there trying to jump away. And he will actually... Will he escape? He could. Close, close, close. Nah, Aragi has the Uber Rockstar aura. Unless the ult hits. No, not just yet. But yeah, okay. BKB actually getting away for... Oh, that thing has no shots anymore. Yeah, okay, BKB gets away. BKB actually gets away. Or will Aragi get him? No. There's no way. He's a bit too fast for that. Okay, so Rega is back, and I mean they have 2 keeps down, alright? They have 2 keeps down, it's 90% on the core. You can't lose that, right? 18 kills against 8. If SK turns that around, that would be amazing. That would be just mind-blowing. They have been doing some work in the last 2 fights, but this is a constant threat. I mean, 19%. Just imagine a few catapults pushing in over here and starting to attack the core, and you will die. It's so easy against 3 or 4 catapults to just simply use a few points on your core, and that is what SK has to be careful about. I'm not even sure if I was in Kazooie's team, if I would go for a fight, or if I would just simply try for a backdoor attempt. The plants completely gone. I mean, like, they've been all collecting seeds, but they were not able to get their plants in the game. So this is going to be a fun one. Our Aragi is jumping in. This is a 5 versus 5. We still have 2 forts alive. 2 of the forts are still alive. This is another thing that's really important here. Bakery, of course, with the Nexus Frenzy. We have 2 Nexus Frenzies. One's on Bakery and one's on Bala. Yeah, there we're jumping in again. Oh, our Aragi with a mosh pit! Here comes Illidan, and our Aragi is dead. Our Aragi is already dead, but here comes the ult. Killing one, maybe Neps as well. Not quite. Invidium going away. Oh, Neps and Invidium just barely moving away here. It's a 4 versus 4 now, and they can't just simply heal up. Neps complaining about his retard mouse. I'm not quite sure what exactly that is supposed to say, but yeah, doesn't really like his mouse apparently. Blow Your Brain is low, maybe a bit too low to rejoin the fight. Should maybe wait a bit longer. They are losing a lot of their... Yeah, they're losing a lot of the structures here. Bakery and Snitch are putting so much pressure in. SK, there's no way SK can turn this around, right? Yeah, core is already under attack. I told you, a couple of catapults, that's all that you need. And they need to move back, but that means they're losing seeds. If they move back right now, they're gonna lose seeds. And with a plant, you could simply right-click the core now. With a plant, you could just simply attempt to right-click the core. Here's the move back. Catapults are still there. Zamoni is making sure that he de-pushes everything. 93 versus 91 seeds. And I can tell you one thing. The adrenaline is pumping for both of the teams right now. SK, because they might make an impossible comeback happen here. And for Kazooie, because that would be the throw of the millennium. If they lose here, that would be the throw of the millennium. Snitch goes down. Vala is dead. Kumatu boss might die now too. This is bad. Kumatu boss and Vala are dead, and this should be it. Zamoni is being pushed back, and yes, he will die as well. Goes down. Bakery dies too. This is game. This is GG. There was a bit of a scare that happened here, but now it's game. They're moving in already. The plan can be taken for both teams. 19% on the core. This is it. Our Ragi is trying to get the plant. They could just simply interrupt him. They don't. And now the plant moves in. But yeah, this is of course game. So we called it a bit too early earlier, but now it's really game. The 2-1 for Kazooie against SK Gaming here at the ESL Major League. Congratulations. A bit delayed, but it happened after all. And this is the first best of 3 win for Kazooie in the Major League. Congratulations.
Oh boy, that finish in the game. I certainly didn't expect that. I really thought the game was already over, but then suddenly SK is able to, just for a few minutes at least, secure their core again, and Kazooie had to try once more. And for quite a bit of time it looked like SK might be able to repeat what they did in map number 1 and win the game in the end, but the comeback this time wasn't possible. Kazooie taking it here, taking the game, and therefore the best of 3 series. So they secure themselves another point in the ESL Major League, and that was extremely well done by them. So congratulations to Kazooie. And guys, once again, if you enjoyed the video in the commentary, give it a thumbs up on YouTube. I hope that you also subscribe to the channel already. If you haven't done that yet, then do it, and I'm gonna see you next time with more competitive Heroes of the Storm videos here on Khaldor TV.